We live. Welcome back, all you beautiful people, to that We Got Action podcast, episode 34 coming at you all. We're going to be talking NFL playoffs.
Nice.
Wild card weekend is over.
Yes, sir.
And we're getting down to the nitty gritty, the Elite Eight, the final eight, the divisional round is coming up.
Hey, that was a good first round, kind of.
Yo,
little mix of
Wild
stinky,
card
but a little
weekend was
mix.
fun.
It was a
Wild card
mixy.
weekend was
A nice
fun.
little mix up.
It was
Mixed
fun. We
up.
had some upsets. We had some close games. We'll get into that. And then we're going to preview the divisional round. We're going to talk about the future of Tampa Tom. And then we're going to talk about the future of the Chargers. They've already kind of started to, get rid of some people, get rid of we could start there, but I kind of want to go in order.
Yeah, that was bad.
But I am excited. It's two on the list. So starting off, no surprise here, Vitor and his Niners taking care of business, 41-23. I thought it was, the Seahawks, they stayed into it early, but
They played really well in that first half.
And that's what I was gonna say. I think kudos to the Seahawks. They did go on that little losing streak kind of towards that middle half of the season.
That's when they struggled a bit
into that section to try to get that 7 seed, but they did get it, and they just ran into a juggernaut. I think, I'm honest with you guys. The other 7 teams in the playoffs should be really scared, because since Brock Purdy took over, I would almost argue that the Niners offense has been better than their defense. And that's
just
saying a lot, because
it's saying a lot.
Usually that whenever they make the playoffs, it's the offense is scraping to score points to support.
And now it's just at will. At
juggernaut defense. So right now they're putting up 30, 40 a clip and giving up nothing. So yeah, that game went as planned. But yeah, like I said, shout out to the Seahawks. They played really well.
I mean, I'm happy for them, though. They fleeced the trade with the Broncos. No one expected them. No one expected them to. I'm just saying, no one expected them to be in that position. They stayed close the first 3 quarters, but at the end of the day, I think that's all you can ask for, that you succeeded the expectations.
Yeah. I don't think Brock played a phenomenal game.
I think he played a really good second half. His first half,
but to think it could get better is what's scary to me.
Yeah, if he could do what he did in the second half over the course of a whole game, that's
that's dangerous.
Yeah.
But with him having like McCaffrey there,
McCaffrey went for over 100 scrimmage yards. Debo had 130 something.
Yeah, I saw a stat today where it was like, with Debo, Ayuk, Juszczyk, Kittle, and McCaffrey on the field at the same time, the Niners ran 17 plays or something like that, and they averaged over 15 yards per play. And all of those players were on the field. So, I've seen the Niners go to the Super Bowl twice. I've seen us make playoff runs before, but this is by far the best team that I've seen so far. And I just hope they can keep it going.
I wish y'all were in the AFC. It actually would be fun to watch.
Yes.
I feel like the only team that matches with you guys on paper in the NFC is the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I think you kind of route any other team that made the playoffs in the NFC.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was at least, you guys would have an interesting divisional game, maybe. Maybe an interesting wild card game.
It might be.
We'll get to that. I think if they can play like they did yesterday, they can put up a fight.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, dude. Let's get into it.
The next game, I don't know who wants to talk about it, but it's still kind of, I know it's fresh on the mind of a lot of people. I do want to give a big shout out to so I was up in the Dells this weekend, and I was hanging. A lot of people went out, but me and one of Hunter's friends, Derek, chose to stay back and watch this game. And we're looking at it. We're both kind of pissed we chose to stay and watch the game, because at one point it was 27-0. Derek looks at me and goes, "You know what's such a Charger thing to happen? They're gonna blow this game." And sure as shit, the Chargers up 27-0, lost that game 30-31. Yeah, man, that's fucking terrible.
And Trevor's streak on Saturday still continues, bro. That is insane. Insane. I'm happy for them, though. They've been bottom of the barrel. Doug Peterson comes in his first year, takes them to the playoffs, and wins the wild card game. Man, that was just crazy to watch, because as soon as you see it 27-0, 27 to
It was the
10
way
or
it was
27
the entire way the
14.
first half went, where it was just interception, interception, interception. Like Asante
Interception.
Samuel had
3.
everybody in their pockets because he wasn't staying out. He was going everywhere and picking everybody off left and right. It looked like it was about to be 50-0. And I don't know
4
what the fuck happened to
interceptions though.
that.
4
I know.
interceptions and then 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
It was
understand.
pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
I like that. I like that. Happy for Trevor as well. Keep the undefeated streak alive, on Saturday.
Man, I'm mad, bro. I'm mad for Justin Herbert, man.
Hey.
I'm a J Herbo guy.
Not me.
And they
I think
choked
this
it.
is best.
Yo, I was getting into mad arguments after this game.
Yo,
I was like, and this right here is why Herbert's not elite.
Like, I can't
That's
even,
what I'm saying. He's
like,
not that guy, right? He's not that guy.
He is not.
I think he is that guy. Brandon Staley is not that guy.
Dude,
That
no, but
offensive
if you're
coordinator
that guy, you bail those people out consistently.
Yeah.
You bail those people out if you're that guy. You put up 3 points in the second half.
I can't.
And that's what we did say in a couple episodes ago was that
Josh Allen's that guy. Josh Allen's fighting through. I mean, he's fighting through himself, but he also then turns around and makes stupid good plays.
But that's what I was saying too, was that Justin Herbert was bailing out Brandon Staley this entire season.
I think it's a great thing that he didn't bail him out, because now they can clean house and really right the ship there, and it's gonna. Then now people are going to be able to, in my opinion, say, because 100% talent wise, he is top 3 in the league, top 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he just hasn't, nothing. There's no substance there yet.
Yeah.
You throw for a lot of yards, like cool, but win games.
Yeah, and I think next year it'll be they cleaned house a little bit with some of their moves. They fired.
I think there's more to come.
Probably. Still. I don't think they're done yet. They might have entire crew hirings and stuff.
Right.
But then now this will really put Staley on the hot seat as well. If they stick with him another year, they bring in a new OC and
go.
Yeah.
Yep. Like Isaac, you think Mike McCarthy's a good coach?
I never thought Mike McCarthy was.
And what did Dak Prescott do for Mike McCarthy yesterday? I'm not saying Dak is like, I don't know if Dak's better than Herbert. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying.
But Dak
for
did
Dallas,
play a hell
Dak
of a game.
is him, bro. You know what I mean?
Dak played a hell of a game.
Look at Danny Dimes.
Herbert.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, we got to save Danny Dimes, bro. We got to save that one.
Someone's got to save Justin Herbert. That's who's got to be saved.
Man,
because I know I rip on him, but he's too good to be in that. And when the situation he's got,
losing a 27-0 football game.
I'm just saying, you
too good.
You got to put up more than 3.
And the kicker missed the field goal as well. Let's not forget that.
He did.
That was the difference in the game right there.
Yeah.
Again, though,
they only created 2.
Then you go from 3 points to 6 points.
They created 2 opportunities to
score. You
can't
put it in once with how talented that team is.
Yeah, there's 2.
I know the play calling is rough, but at what point do you call your own fucking play, man?
Yeah, it's like you have such good chemistry with like Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, right? Like,
yeah,
the 3 of them can say, "Hey, we're gonna run this play, but you two, stay on my side."
Wink, wink, bro. Like something.
Like they should at this point be able to get beyond the game plan, right?
I need some Mahomes level improvisation. You telling me Mahomes doesn't go out there every now and then and just be like, "Hey, Kelsey, hey, I'm coming your way no matter what."
It's right there. It's right there.
That little circle play they ran.
Yeah,
whatever.
Hey, that was hilarious. That was hilarious.
You think Andy Reid's sitting on the sideline like snow globe? He called something and Pat went, "Hey guys, let's try the snow globe."
I swear.
He called it, bro. He called it. So that one was there. That one was sad for the Chargers, but happy for Jacksonville. Happy for Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm less excited for the next round. I do think that the Chargers matched up better.
I would say, but I think it's hey, never know. They might get down 27. We'll see. It'll be a good game. It'll be a good game.
If the Jags can clamp it down and play that second half like a full game, I think they have a chance.
Yeah, man,
we'll get there though. So now we're gonna go.
I want to go Minnesota and New York.
No, don't skip. Don't skip.
No, not skip.
We're going in order.
Go.
I want to talk about my Bills.
Man,
and the scare.
Yeah, that was a scare. That was a scare. I got a little bit worried for them and what they were
Shout out to Skylar Thompson.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was watching that game and forgot he was playing because of how well he was playing. I forgot it was him.
But no. Only reason I'm giving him a shout out, at least he made the game competitive. You know,
True.
Everybody
Josh Allen made the game competitive.
Come on, you can't take credit away from him.
Yeah, they could have just not scored. It's not like the Buffalo defenses.
They did multiple times, kicked field goals. Three field goals, 3 separate times.
I'm just saying, how can you take credit away from Skyler though? Come on,
third string quarterback, and he had them.
Not really. He's started how many times this season already? It's not like he's.
I think that's like his 2 or 3 times.
And maybe not started, but also played 2 full games that Teddy Bridgewater started for like a quarter. Yeah. It's not like has no experience. Don't give me that.
Still,
he played like doodle in those 2 games.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
He played better. He played better in this game than he did in all the other games he played.
And it was because he had time to prepare. How you gonna don't come on now? Come on.
Here. Trying to crush the little guy.
Skylar Thompson on the 49ers. What's happening? Skylar Thompson on the 49ers. What's happening?
I mean, at this point, I don't want
to be just fine. Stop
it. I know exactly. But yeah, I mean, hey, roll the wagon.
Davis Mills on the 49ers.
Buffalo.
Everybody on the 49ers is good.
Imagine.
Come on now. No, Buffalo won. Josh Allen, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's got to clean it up, or else they're
piss me off.
Especially against Cincinnati.
So we'll get into that too. Cincinnati, same shit. If Cincinnati plays that game against, if they play that game against the Bills, they get shit on too.
Yeah, keep going, bro. Keep going. I'm excited. Keep going.
So now we're gonna get into your Giants and Vikings.
Oh,
all right.
Woo!
I mean, I did call it, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that.
We all wanted the Giants to win.
I was
the only one that picked the Vikings. Of course, I shit on the Vikings all year. The one time I picked them, and they fucking let me down.
We did say though, this was the game. We did say.
Oh God, yeah. You're
They're
telling me
frauds.
They had because what was it, week 16, 15 or 16? They played. Was it at MetLife? I think. Was it in New York?
They played a 1-score game in which
not a 1-score game. The Vikings had to kick a record, a franchise record field goal just to win it.
Yeah.
Where it bounced off the upright and in, and then they won that game. So I know Isaac remembered that and said it last week. So 100% frauds, dude.
They kept flaunting this 11-1 or whatever it was.
And that's what we have a couple friends who are Vikings fans. I have like 3 or 4. And they all say like, oh, this is just brewing us, it's good. We have all this experience in 1-score games, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and at what point is that going to actually go wrong for you?
Have you guys seen that?
You shouldn't be proud that you haven't blown anybody out yet. Like,
have you guys seen the meme going around of like, it's the Impractical Jokers? They're behind the TV. It's like Kirk Cousins throw a 3-yard pass to end the season, and then you throw.
You're 4th and 8, and you're telling me you don't throw it 10 yards plus down the field?
It's not even the throw; it's the fact that you're calling a play that has. It's most likely gonna, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to even give yourself that option.
Dude, I'm convinced that Hawk was there to like drag a couple guys away.
Yeah, it had to.
He chose to fucking throw it.
Had to be.
There's no way.
Yeah, I mean,
he's too smart to know that.
He said he thought he was.
No.
Act. I think he choked. I think he felt the pressure a little bit earlier than it came.
Kirk Cousins.
Kirko changed. Like no mo.
Kirko Change did what Kirko Change always do every Sunday. He plays one game good, one half good, second half trash. This time he decided to play an entire game almost good until the last drive.
Yeah. He was having a pretty solid one.
Look, Daniel Jones, and I really hate Danny Dimes.
I know you do.
I think Danny Dimes outplayed Kirk Cousins.
100%.
I think he was.
Kirk Cousins trash.
Maybe behind Saquon, I think he was the best player on the team, on the field, on both sides.
And this was like I feel like this was like one of his cleanest games, like especially of passing, because this year we really haven't seen him be really unleashed. But the fact that he got his career high in carries at 17 for the game, and then also still being able to throw 300+ yards, and
Dimes.
Like, bro, Daboll is making him like Daboll's resurrected his career, even though his career is only like 3 years in.
They're gonna have to pay him. They're gonna have to pay him, is what they're gonna have to do.
I don't think it's gonna be crazy though. I think it's gonna be something manageable. I don't think it's gonna be crazy.
A lot more than what we would have said before the year.
Exactly. Yeah. I think at least 20 to 25 million annually. That's what I think he's gonna end up.
Think about that. If you said 25 mil annually before the season,
bro, that puts you square in your
That would have been a worse take than your Lamar, Derek Carr top 10 scenario.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
And now look at it. Now look where we are.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy though, but happy for the Giants.
Of course we are.
Shout out to the Vikings fans. Sorry.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Sorry.
Hey, we tried to tell y'all all year.
We talked about it several times. These one-score games weren't like battles. It's not like they were teams fighting back and forth, constantly changing leads. No, a lot of times they dug themselves a hole and tried to claw and had to come back.
Or they had a big lead and sucked ass.
And had to hang on at the end. Yeah, it's not. They were not. The film didn't say they were a good team.
No.
And a lot of the numbers compared.
Well, it was like you said going into the playoffs last week. They had the same point diff as when they were it was like a similar point diff as when they were 8 and 9.
It was like almost the exact same numbers of points for and against. Since
before we do continue on to the next game, though, do you think they do make a move at quarterback, or do you think that they stay the same?
I think they like Kirk, but I think they'll explore.
No, I think they'll try to bolster that defense. Is what I think they do.
That okay?
That defense is not it.
But is it going to be good enough for you to win with Kirk Cousins?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Super Bowl. Win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins.
They've been able to put a defense together a few years ago that was pretty formidable. So I think they've made some acquisitions going into this year. I think if they can stay healthy and then get some more acquisitions, they can push. But the North is getting a little. I mean, the Bears are close to getting a rebuild. I think the Lions are already back.
Yeah,
we'll see what the Packers do. So they're in a weaker division, which makes it easy for them. But a couple teams are on the prowl, so they do need to be careful.
Be interesting. All right, what we got next?
Bengals, Ravens. All right, now Tyler Huntley. I want to say, if we're going to shout out Skylar Thompson, I want to shout out Tyler Huntley. I also think he played a good game for being
I think
injured.
This was one of his best games of the year as well.
It was he played a lot better.
He showed
games
up when
last
he needed
year.
to. Yeah,
but when it was on the line, I mean, barring that last, he was under barrage like the majority of the game. That offensive line could not hold water. Against Cincy's D line, but I thought he played a damn good game. Again, a lot of people are saying if Lamar was there, they would have won. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not, but. Just from a composure standpoint, there were definitely some plays where you can see the inexperience.
Yeah.
With like him fumbling the ball, fumbling different snaps, not the greatest throws, missing some open guys. But I
think even attempting the jump in the first place,
right.
It was fairly obviously designed.
Well, the problem was they lined up to do like the push play, where they push the QB into the end zone, and he chose to dive over, which then guys are pushing you. Yeah. Like it's not correct. That was he kind of But either way. Shout out to the Ravens. They made it really competitive. We knew it was going to be competitive because that defense is fucking insane. And that was the thing I had with the Bengals there is they can't put up 19 offensive points and expect to beat the Bills or the Chiefs. I don't think.
But I think it was just one of those games. I think the Chiefs, when they played the Chiefs, it's going to If it were to be like, obviously they'll have to meet the Chiefs in the semifinal, but the fact that we kind of expected that, like. All their games are always close, or at least one score games.
The AFC North always plays these weird close games. No matter how good or bad the teams are, for the most part, they play close games. Yeah. I mean, we saw it with the Dolphins and the Bills too. When you play a team for the third time in a season, like they know you, right? Doesn't matter who won the first two, because that next game, they've got so much tape, so much experience in that situation that it does give you a big
all I'm saying, the only game that Lamar played against the Bengals, the Ravens did win.
True.
But each game was a little bit different though for like this season. Like you had Lamar the first time, and then we had Roquan added the second time, and then now it's like,
I think
now we got everybody here this time.
Yeah, except for the Ravens, but
I think the Seahawks,
Lamar again.
I think the Seahawks got Jimmy one game and then two of Brock.
Yeah.
I think
don't nobody care about that.
Yeah, I mean they were looking like that.
Nobody cared about that.
Everything is a really good real thing in the first half.
Yeah. It'll be interesting though
because Jimmy was there.
No, I'm saying
Jimmy's Strat.
It'll be interesting though to see like what the offseason is going to really look like now for the Ravens. It's going to be very, very, very interesting.
There's players already voicing that they.
I fully agree.
He needs to be responded.
Yeah, J.K. Dobbins went off.
Dobbins was saying
post game
he didn't touch the ball in the red zone. They kept bringing in Justice Hill and like Gus Edwards. Gus is a good runner. But Justice Hill was no. He got positive yards like twice, I swear.
Exactly.
And JK was every time I saw him get a carry, it was dragging guys along, fighting for extra yards, second efforts, and then
I think J.K. Dobbins would have got that touchdown on the goal line.
I think so too.
He would have. I think he would have, in my opinion. He would have. But it's going to be interesting though. I can't wait to see it. The Jets rumors are already starting.
Oh, there's a lot of teams that are like on the cusp this year that I think have a chance to make moves and take a big
I think
lead.
the other thing is there's some fun trade things where a lot of those teams in the top, the Colts, the Texans, the Raiders, all those have like top 6, 7 picks that could be traded to Baltimore in a package deal for Lamar. That way they don't have to pay him. Maybe they can then draft a young quarterback and get that rookie contract, depending on what team could possibly want to take on a Lamar's contract. But whatever that might be, we know it when he wants it fully guaranteed and some massive amount. And I think with the way the Ravens finished with him out again, similar to him last year when he was out, they weren't great. There's usually a correlation. When he plays, they're pretty damn good, regardless of how close the game is. He at least makes it interesting and pushes the edge for them. Like I said before we started, I think if Tua plays and if Lamar plays, we're looking at Dolphins and Ravens both moving on.
It's very close. Yes.
Last game was last night.
Snooze fest.
Let's go. Not that I'm happy the Cowboys won, but I told y'all.
Man,
I don't know what y'all saw in 17 games that made y'all trust Tom Brady.
It's what I saw in 20 years.
Bullshit. I'm looking at what I saw this season with this team, with this coaching staff, and nothing convinced me at all that they were going to be able to compete with Dallas.
You're right. Yeah. Dallas is just Dallas.
They also played the cleanest game I think I've seen them play.
Yes.
False. Are you kidding?
At least
the cleanest game all season, brother.
That's been handing
the games they were playing with Cooper Rush.
Well, no, I wouldn't say all. I wouldn't. Yeah, that's where I would disagree. Not all season, but this is the game that they played. It was one of their cleanest,
but it was not the cleanest.
On both sides of the ball, it seemed like they were always.
They have dominated teams. I would say. You remember the friggin' shitstorm they gave Minnesota?
Yeah,
it was like 40-something to 4 or 3. That might have been it.
But at least for playoff standards, though, this was one of their cleaner games since they've been in the playoffs the last handful of years. If we're being honest.
Well, yeah, in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's when they needed it the most because obviously I predicted the choke job was going to happen. I honestly thought though when it was 18-0, I was like, you know what? Just like Hunter said with the Chargers, I thought it was gonna be the Cowboys getting upset as well.
No, I had my faith in the first drive, and when they didn't score that first drive, Tom Brady and them, I was like, yeah, that comeback's not happening, brother. I threw that out the window as soon as that didn't happen.
Man,
when you got somebody like Dak playing like that at that level. Yeah, you ain't beating the Cowboys.
Hey, they just got to watch that kicker, though. They got to watch that kicker, my boy. That's going to be very interesting.
That was funny as hell.
Bro, I could kick better than that. And he was missing the bitches the same way, bro.
He got the yips.
No adjustment.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. Same thing happened to Crosby with McCarthy. I saw it happened to Crosby. I want to say in McCarthy's like second or third of last year, and he kept him in, kept playing. He missed 4 in a row.
Last year.
Last year.
Was that the Bengals and Packers game?
No, it was still with this happened before.
I remember that one too.
McCarthy was still in Green Bay.
Because he was about to get
we're going back and forth.
Because he was also about to get released that 1 year as well. Like they still kept him, but he took a pay cut.
And he made like 102 of his next 106 kicks overall or something like that. Like went crazy. So I think it'll be fine. I think it was jitters for Maher. Like, you just got to hope it's one of those things where it's not like because occasionally kickers get the career altering yips where they just forget how to kick a football. And their career they could go from like 90% to like not in the league in a season.
Tell you what, Jerry Jones about to be having some people trying out this week.
100%.
Oh, yeah, they have to. Imagine though, that'd be
maybe
crazy.
On the low or something else.
Lose your job in the playoffs, but
just saying.
All right, so we got the second round now. Got the second round. Let's go. What game you want to go first? In order.
Keep it in order.
Oh, I don't got the order part, so I just got the
Alright,
bracket.
So Saturday, we got the first game of the weekend is Saturday, January 21st at 3:30. We go 3:30 and 7 on Saturday. We got Jaguars Chiefs first. So they're getting the stinker out the way.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs run it up.
I will say, in history, recent history of Chiefs being the 1 seed, they usually come out really shitty that first half, which makes sense. I mean, off of the bye, because was it 2 years ago they were down?
Oh, they were down like 24-0 against Houston,
the
right?
Titans.
Oh,
or what?
No,
No,
yeah,
I think
it was
it was the Titans.
Yeah, the Titans,
they were
and then they
definitely
ended up
down to
coming. Yeah,
Houston.
Maybe that was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember they almost lost to Baltimore as well.
Yeah,
somewhere in there. Like, so
And then
they
the
they
second half, they just go
notoriously come
crazy.
out kind of stinky.
Mhm.
But they
you
usually
don't
right
get
the
better
shit.
against Patty.
Not this again.
Yeah,
Not this again.
Just
I'm not betting against
I put-
Andy
I
Reid,
put money-
Patty.
Hey, that's what's this? That's Trevor Lawrence on a Saturday again. So
Oh
don't bet against
How many
him.
times are they gonna keep putting this boy on Saturdays?
They make the Super Bowl, they're gonna move it to Saturday.
Imagine, but I'm gonna go with the
So-
Chiefs though. I think the
We
Chiefs are
know,
just
we
too
know,
well
yeah.
rounded right now. I'm going Chiefs. I'm not even gonna take the chance. Not even gonna take the chance.
What you got?
I go, oh yeah. I mean, I think the Chiefs are gonna run it up.
Isaac, you thinking, huh?
Big Chief.
All right. Yeah, I think the difference between Jaguars pulling a comeback this week and last week is the fact we're at Arrowhead. So
Yeah, and they have to.
Yeah.
If
I'm
the
going
Chiefs are gonna
Chiefs
start
by
slow,
at least 10.
Yeah, if the Chiefs are gonna start slow, the Jaguars have to capitalize,
Mm.
and then they have to play the best game of their life. So hang on.
I'm going
Exactly.
Chiefs by at least 10.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'll be there with you, brother.
All
I'll
right,
be right
second
there with you.
game, and this is gonna fall into that, Ravens, Bengals, Seahawks, Niners kind of thing. This is AFC or NFC East
Mhm.
battle here. Giants and Eagles. We are in Philly. Giants are coming off the game of their life. We talked about it. Eagles are coming off that bye. I know Jalen's gonna have them boys ready to play. Keep them focused. They've been focused all year. Who do we got? I think this is gonna be close.
I think it's gonna be closer than most people think, but I still think the
So if
Eagles
the
will pull it
Giants
out.
play like they did against the Vikings,
And again, another division, like within the division game, another division
Yeah.
game. It's gonna be really
I think
hyped.
Jalen's gonna push the edge for the Eagles. I really
I
do.
do think it's interesting.
I
think
really
the
do.
The Eagles earlier in the season specifically started games really strong, and then they would kind of
And
tail
it
off.
fizzled. Yep.
I think
Yeah, but they also had
fixed
strong
that.
fourth quarters.
Yes, I think they
It was
fixed
more or
that
less
too
third
in the,
quarters where they were kind of struggling.
in the
Because in the second
half of
quarter, they're the
season,
best
too.
team in football.
Yeah. So, and I think coming off that bye, you always fear the slow starts, right? So being a team that typically starts fast and coming off that bye is probably good for them. And I think the Giants are still going to be running off the high. They're going to be playing hard. And I think they believe they can win, which is, I think, the most important thing in these types of games. Because, these lower seeded teams a lot of times come in kind of
I think the Eagles and the way they've played all season have just been so methodical. It's been so with with a point, like they just have a reason of what they're doing and they know how to do it. They're executing it. They're being very methodical about it. Is the best way I could put it. And I think if they get the kickoff coming out this game, we're going to see freaking 15 play, 6-7 minute drive, touchdown.
It's gonna
just
happen.
to really deflate them. I can feel that.
It's gonna happen. Let's go. I'm going Eagles. Let's go Eagles.
Yeah, fly Eagles fly.
I'm nervous.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, because I'm like, see, to me right now, it's just because Hurts was banged up towards the end of the year, right? And I don't think, and I think the one thing they did, they took out the last game he just played was his running game. If he comes out and he relies strictly just on his arm like he did, I have a feeling the Giants are still in the game. But if I can get the full repertoire, might be a hinder here and there, but if I get a little bit of his full repertoire against the Giants, then I think the Eagles walk away with this. So that's what's tearing me. I want to just take the Eagles, and that's what I'm going to do. But that's where I'm sitting at. I'm like, I think this is going to be really close, depending on what Jalen Hurts I get this Saturday.
I think the only problem I have with picking the Giants right now is Daniel Jones was so excellent. Saquon was so excellent. They'd have to do it again because beyond those two, there is no weapons.
And a much better defense.
You know what I mean?
Let's not forget
you're
that
going
too.
up against an Eagles defense that has been top 5 all year, and you're going up against a team that has weapons on weapons. Now, I'm not saying Minnesota didn't have weapons, but weren't complemented with a defense that can stay off the field. I think Daniel Jones would have to do. I think those two would have to play better than they just played against Minnesota, and I don't know how feasible that is against Philly on their turf. So I think that Philly sweep. I think we're gonna run with that. The next game, this one is weird, bro. This is weird.
Toss-up.
No, not necessarily just that, but with the whole like DeMar Hamlin thing, like there's gonna be emotions in this shit.
Oh yeah.
Like I know they're not in Cincy and they're in Buffalo, but this is gonna be fucking.
It's gonna be crazy.
This game's gonna be fucking nuts. Like I'm scared to watch this bitch. I was pooping my pants watching the Dolphins game.
Yeah, like I saw Bengals. I don't remember if it was a Bengals player, if it was just like fan talk about them getting revenge on the Bills.
Bro, what revenge?
That's
they didn't even play anybody in the
but they feel like they were. I think they were winning that game, right? 7-3.
Yeah, bro.
They felt that they were winning and they were gonna win.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they were at home,
and I think that's gonna.
Of course, they were gonna probably win that. I said they were probably gonna win that too.
I think they would have.
Good layer to that game. That's gonna be a fun one.
You got it's a whole different dynamic, though. I feel like with the DeMar Hamlin juice, I think with the being in Buffalo, neither team played well, but I would say the Bengals played a little worse. Because again, I think if you take away 2 of Josh's turnovers, that Dolphins game isn't close.
If you take away Huntley's turn, like
you still turn it over.
Yeah, turnovers are turnovers. Like
I'm just hypothesizing here. I'm not necessarily saying he didn't. I'm not saying they didn't happen.
No, I just don't think like Josh Allen playing a clean game is like rarer than
him.
And
they still put up 34 points.
No, I say it's him playing a clean game is rarer than him not.
I didn't like the dysfunction I saw from from Cincy's offense against Baltimore. I thought that was pretty.
It was expected.
Marcus Peters was running amok on those boys.
It was just
influencing
expected.
the whole game on his own.
It was like
it is a coin flip, though.
It is a coin flip. I just think Cincy played bad due to one, this being another divisional game. 2, the last game they all played, there was a little beef heading into this game. A lot of talking on both sides. So yes, I was expecting a close game on that.
Yeah.
But when I'm walking into this game, I really, in this case, it's just like when the Buffalo's playing Kansas City. Can I trust Buffalo's defense? Because I feel like if Buffalo can't get to Joe Burrow, T. Higgins is going to eat. I'm not going to even talk about Jamar Chase. Just T. Higgins is going to eat. Eating Indy up in the slot along with Tyler Boyd. And that's what I'm lying at. And then the running back games, I'm taking Joe Mixon over Devin Singletary. Like
I don't trust either of the 2 defenses right now. Honestly,
I don't trust either.
Tough.
But like
I don't think the Bengals defense is that great, especially in the secondary, which is what I'm afraid of for the Bengals. I think they're gonna have to try to really put pressure on Josh Allen like the Dolphins did. The Dolphins were perfectly okay playing man-to-man outside and just trying to rush Josh Allen a lot.
They're not missing their number 1, and I know that Apple went down in the game. I think he came back against the Ravens.
Yeah, he came back.
But they are still down Awuzie.
Right, but that was a few weeks.
Yeah, but he's their number 1.
I know, but I'm saying he's already been out. He's been out.
Dolphins have a better secondary. I'm saying man.
That's what I'm saying. I think the Bengals are going to have to really unload like they did on Tyler Huntley and make Josh Allen uncomfortable, because if the Bills O-line can hold up and he's able to just torch that Bengals secondary, I don't think the secondary is that great.
No.
That I think Gabe and Stephon are going to eat.
And this seems like the type of game where you see Eli Apple's name in headlines for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. Well,
freaking Kevin King ass game.
Yeah.
I also think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be like upper 30s.
I'm going Cincinnati, to be honest. Going Cincy. I have to. It just feels right this year.
I'm rocking.
Hey, name your price, Danny. Name your price. I'll bet you on it. I'll go Bills. Bills by like.
I'll put a 50 bomb on it. 50 bomb.
That's weak.
Oh, that's weak. Come on, dude.
I'll go Bills by 3 or 7, somewhere in there. Bills by a score.
Bills by a score. Let's go 10. Let's go 20 piece. 20 piece.
Danny, You're going lower.
I know.
Hey, I like how you go. It goes lower.
Let's go
Basically,
lower.
wow.
Let's do that. All right,
Come
but
on,
yeah,
man.
I'm going
I think-
Cincinnati though.
I'll take the Bills, but I think it's going to be really close and it's going to be a tough game.
I can't bet against Joe Shiesty. I'm sorry. I'm a Joe
Man,
Shiesty
you've been
fan.
saying you can't bet against these
I
certain
know.
quarterbacks, and look
Sorry,
what happened.
Sorry.
That don't work. That's not gonna work no more.
I need
I'm making
like,
my picks. I'm making my picks now, but I want everybody to know I am rooting for the Jaguars. I am rooting for the Giants. I'm rooting for the Cowboys. Hey, I might be picking against them on the podcast, but when I'm watching these games on TV, I will be rooting for the other side.
I mean, I'm always going to be rooting for the team that can give my team the easiest path.
So I might not bet against Pat Mahomes, but I bet you bottom dollar I'm gonna be fucking screaming against his ass.
I root for any players who can hit this parlay for me this weekend when I put it in.
Bet on Josh Allen.
The thing is, though, I wish I listened to my
interceptions.
I wish I listened to my own advice about the games that I picked, because I put in a ticket and I put the Vikings instead of the Giants, like I said.
Stupid.
I know. I wish I listened to myself, But the last game we got,
you going Cincy then?
Yeah, you going Cincy?
So 2-2 split.
Yeah, I'm going Cincy. I just think
Yeah.
there's a lot of plethora of weapons on the offensive side compared to just Diggs and Gabe, which is a lot to say in my opinion. I got T, I got Jamar, I got Tyler, I got Hayden Hurst.
Well, Hayden Hurst is not better than Dawson Knox. None of the
Bengals
receivers are better than Diggs.
I'd say this year he is.
No, but they're all better.
I don't think Josh is
in my opinion.
finding Dawson like Hayden. Like, no.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll
Hurst
see on
is a big
Sunday.
We're going. Let's see.
I like
Both of y'all
I'm
name
just
both of
not
y'all
gonna
name
do
your
that.
price.
Let's see
I'll
it,
match it.
bro. Let's see
And
it,
double it.
bro. Let's see
I'll
it,
teach you
bro.
after this. I bet with you.
And in unison, I will take the Niners.
I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
tough game, at least for a half, 3/4, unless I don't know. It depends on Dak. That's the story. I think if Dak can play as cleanly as he did against Tampa, which I mean, we're typically not the defense in which quarterbacks play too clean against.
Correct.
But he can move, and I think teams have already they saw the script a little bit with Jarrett Stidham. They did the same thing with Geno, especially in the first half, got him moving, a lot of rollouts.
Yeah.
Right. And so if the Cowboys are game planning for that, I think they have a shot. They have a real shot. They're a really good team on both sides of the ball. However, we are better on both sides of the ball.
I'm going
And I'm taking
49ers. I don't need to say anything else.
I'm saying
going
the same
49ers.
thing. I'm gonna say the same thing I said about the Giants. I think the Cowboys just played one of their cleanest games, like Vitor said, all season.
They have to do it again.
It's not their cleanest, but it is one of them. Like I think they'd have to pull out what they did against Minnesota.
Yeah.
Or I do. You have to do it again, and it makes it so much harder against that defense.
I think Santa Clara is a more hostile environment too than Tampa or Minnesota. And I think that game might have been at home anyway, but I think it's a much more hostile environment than Tampa was.
Yeah.
So
okay. Clean sweep for that one.
It's closer than the 3-score game. Yeah. But shit, it still might be 2.
Hey, it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
I'm scared of the Niners. I'm just.
I'm scared of the Niners.
I think every other team should be scared of the Niners.
I'm scared of the Niners. The Bills. It hurts when we lose.
The Bengals. The Eagles.
I love the Niners.
Yeah, but again, the thing I have is, you have a competent quarterback now that is able to actually operate in the offense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make stupid decisions.
Well, so there was a quote from Shanahan saying that like Purdy sees they see things the same, and a lot of people are saying.
But you ever see Jimmy Garoppolo run out the tunnel and scream at the crowd like Brock Purdy's doing?
No.
Come on now.
I think part of it that somebody.
You mean like Tom Brady did?
Shanahan.
Stop it.
Shanahan
for Tom Brady though.
Shanahan has when he does his plays, I think he truly believes that every play will work if you follow the script that he sets.
Yeah.
Like I think he is that meticulous, and I think Brock Purdy is a quarterback who doesn't question him, doesn't second guess what Shanahan says, and I think other guys, like I think Jimmy specifically, is known to maybe
because I think Jimmy looks at it and goes, I don't think I could do that.
I think he doesn't trust the reads as much, doesn't let the plays do the work for him, and I think he gets nervous.
What do you mean I have to throw into double coverage?
I think Brock understands the system just a little bit better. Maybe I don't know whether he played in something similar or what it is about him, but I think he just sees the game closer to the way Shanahan sees it.
Confidence.
Or he's just willing to say, hey, tell me where to throw it.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. It's just the blind trust, I feel like.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys when he first came in were saying the same thing, that they had just this overwhelming trust for him. And I'm like, bro, this dude hasn't even played no damn games.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be
now
different.
They're on 11 in a row. Now you want to go different. Cowboys. Now you want to go Cowboys.
Yep. And I'm gonna prove my point. I'm going Dak. You know, big back Dak.
Dak is he wasn't saying that last week, though. You switch up real quick. I can't wait till you're really, really throwing all the cheer at the Bills next week. I can't wait for that one.
Hey. But I do got a real question though.
I know, I'm talking next week. After the Bills win, and then you're giving them all the cheer.
Do you think that if at least Brock Purdy gets them to the Super Bowl, do you believe that Trey Lance is expendable?
I don't think he's expendable yet.
I don't think.
But Brock is head and shoulders
unless
above
a
on the
team
depth
is
chart
willing to give up a lot of what we gave up to move up.
Correct.
Yes. I think the package,
the
price always
McCaffrey.
The price always matters.
I need to ring something back in.
We can't just be like, oh well, Brock's our starter now, so Trey's gonna go for a 6th rounder. Like that's not gonna happen.
No, nothing like that.
If a team comes in with an offer like, hey, say one of these quarterback needy teams goes, hey, we have a high pick. They've got a guy who we've seen and we like what we've seen already.
What have you seen though? That's the only problem.
I mean, have you seen the way that some of these teams draft? Who saw anything out of Trayvon Walker last year? To put him first overall.
Yeah.
He was okay.
He wasn't even considered a top 10
overall,
pick.
But no, but I'm saying it's not like he's been a C or D draft.
Yeah,
I'd give him still like a B.
He had a solid season, but I think all the guys who we knew were better than him had better seasons.
I do think it is a serious question though, because I mean Brock Purdy fits it perfectly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's that big.
I think they want to, but
I think
again,
it has to be a value.
You're not giving them away for just fucking sticks and stones.
Again, we know it better than anyone. You need depth in the NFL. Like you can't just say, all right, well, we have our guy.
Because what happened to Brock, that happened to Trey this year, and now you're back to Trey.
Well, you got a quarterback feel like the Ravens. You're right.
Yeah, so
all the way down to their third joint.
The only problem I have is I don't like it's two very different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I think Shanahan. That's
just where at that point you can just go re-sign Jimmy again for some stupid cheap contract.
Yeah, I think Jimmy leaves. I think he has a very good chance at ending up in either New York
as a backup,
the Jets
as a backup,
or and this is a hybrid role as backup.
He will be a backup
starter if needed for the Miami Dolphins.
He will be a backup.
Because I don't
think they need anybody either.
I think they have to be the most careful team out there.
I believe so.
I think they have to act as if they have to think of there's a possibility that if Tua goes down with one more concussion at all.
So what were y'all just saying about Skylar Thompson then?
Well, he had played.
I was talking about the game. I was talking about where
I said he played a good game. That's all I said.
Is that nothing to build off of then?
I don't think so. Nothing long term. I don't think. No,
because he played.
You don't pay Jimmy. I'll tell you that. You don't play Jimmy.
I don't think you're gonna be. No, I don't think you're worried about paying him because of his injury.
You don't play him either.
Down.
You don't touch him.
So you just stay away from him.
You stay away from him.
I hope he comes to
the track record is not there.
You know what? Hopefully he comes home to back up his hometown team.
No team that needs a quarterback has a good enough defense to support Jimmy Garoppolo.
I do like what he just said though. Back up. I do like that.
Yeah, just so in case he needs to play, he gets to watch Jimmy every weekend.
There you go. But I just thought that was a valid question. So obviously we went through the overview. We gave our surprise and kind of disappointed all in there. I guess now transitioning out of that, we talked about another Hall of Fame quarterback last week in Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Now we're going to talk about TB12. Tom Brady.
They falling like flies.
That's what I'm saying. First off, do you believe that we can go two questions here? Does Tom Brady retire or does he move on to another team? There are rumors that if he does continue to play, he's more than likely going to take 1-year contracts. If you're the Buccaneers, should you move in a different direction away from Brady, or do you just keep riding that train until he does ultimately decide to retire? What do they really do? So I'm gonna go with you first, brother, and then we'll go down the line. Does TB12 retire? Does he keep playing? Do the Buccaneers keep him, or should they move in a different direction if he does continue to play?
I mean, I've been thought he should have been retired. Okay. I think he should have just rode off into the sunset. It was a perfect ending, in my opinion, to win a Super Bowl. Should have just left it at that.
Oh, so he should have retired 2 years ago.
The Peyton Manning effect.
He should have just dipped after that, because I don't think he's touched anything of that level since.
No.
Well, kind of, but
last year was pretty crazy.
Second in MVP voting.
Last year was pretty crazy. He should have won that bitch. He should have won that bitch last year.
But my only thing, it's just the age aspect. And if they can't get him a running game or get back to using Leonard Fournette in a better way than like they were using before. Yeah, I just think right now, I think he goes back to Tampa. I just think it was a lot to start this year. It was a lot that went into this year, like off the field to him. Yeah. Bruce Arians said, "Skip it. I'm going to the front office, guys." Like right at the start of the season, and then we got Todd Bowles. And I love Todd. I mean, shout out to Todd Bowles. I just don't think he's a good coach like that. I mean, he ain't proven it in New York like that. So I don't know what y'all was expecting him to lead the Tampa Bay the Bucks to do anything. And he's a defensive coach. I don't think he retired. He just loved football too much. I think we might see Tom until he's like 75 on a walker trying to get off the field.
We're doing 1 yard out.
He won't stop.
Doing
he
1
just
yard.
proved y'all. Love ain't gonna stop him. Kids ain't gonna stop him. He gonna have to stop.
All right. See what you got for me.
He should retire. I don't think he will. I think that the Buccaneers should definitely get something in place. They should look to draft something. I think they're sitting middle of the pack, right? With their pick this year. Do they have a pick, right?
Yeah, because they made the
but they were 8-9. Oh fuck, they made the playoffs, so they do.
Yeah, they won the division.
They immediately fall lower.
Yeah,
regardless of the record. Either way, they need to get something in place, or coaching change or something. I know they just made the coaching change. I think that was the biggest problem for me all season, and why I said they had dysfunction all year, because Bruce Arians is a established coach who has already proven himself throughout his tenure in the NFL, and really had the. I mean, the Buccaneers, they were looking the first season. I mean, they were pretty nasty. They were pretty nasty. They started off kind of shaky and then reeled off 9, 10, 11 in a row or something like that. So
season y'all beat them.
Yes, that was the season the Bears beat them to go to 5-1, and then the Bears lost the last 8, while they went on to win the Super Bowl. But I think I don't necessarily. I see a small dip in Tom's play again. I just think it has to do also with what Isaac was saying, the off the field stuff. But there was for me, it was more dysfunction than like a dip in play. I mean, Godwin was coming off the injury. Fournette had the injuries. They had a fucking slew of injuries on defense.
And the offensive line too.
I think offensive line as well. Single offensive player aside from Brady and maybe Otten, who played limitedly.
I think Rashad White as well.
Yeah, everyone else was getting hurt. Everyone else missed time.
I just saw a lot of dysfunction, and I think next year could be his final year, depending on how they do. If they can at least make a deep playoff run, but the NFC is looking pretty stout at the top with the Cowboys, the Niners, the Eagles, the Giants are coming back. The Vikings are still there, so it's still tough. But I don't think he retires. But they should definitely get some in motion coming soon, because it was pretty easy to audible from Jameis to Tom. But it's going to be hard to transition out from Tom, I feel like. Because you're going to be going to probably a rookie unless you can bring in, like a Derek Carr or something like that. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Just, what I'm saying? Like a bridge quarterback, something like that.
I mean, it's possible.
It could be. It could be. Right, exactly.
V, what you got for me to finish?
I don't think he retires. I think, especially given last offseason and the decision he made to,
at that point, you gave it all away already.
You sacrificed your family and stuff to play more football, and you had probably the worst year of your career, aside from the ones where you missed with a torn ACL, right? Like, probably don't want to go out on that note. And I think he's the type of person who, I think when he needs to take his time and reflect, it will be like, all right, if he wants to go back to his family, if that's an option, right, then maybe. But I think otherwise, he's really going to be considering whether he wants to stay in Tampa or try to go somewhere else and be that the plug, the final piece.
Yeah.
Hey, San Francisco.
If considering the play this season
Imagine.
and the price, I think Brock Purdy might be the better value.
I don't know, dude.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there. Personally, I don't see too many great options for him.
Neither do I.
Because people talk about the Raiders with Devontae Adams and Darren Waller. They have no offensive line.
Correct.
They can run the ball. They can run the ball. But they can't. The pass blocking is not great.
Freaking die. I remember Denver was an option before
the Rush trade.
And also before he was re-signed.
I actually the funniest one I saw was somebody suggested that he goes to, if the Dolphins decide that it's not safe for Tua to play football and things like that, if that's a decision that it would make sense for Brady to go there
further south,
because you get to stay in Florida, you get to go back and play the Patriots twice a year,
you get another 2 hours closer to retirement going from Tampa to Miami.
You're right. So, and I think, and then you're going to a team with a really good offensive system. If they can buff up the defense, which we've seen, Tom Brady has
concussions coming out of there too, though.
Tom Brady has an effect on defenses where it's like players go, oh, hold on, let me go over there. I have a chance, So
right.
I think if he were to make that decision, if they were to make that decision, then you'd see defensive players, especially veterans who are coming off contract, being like, I'll take the 1 year, I'll see what we can do, and make another run at it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't think he does retire. I do think, though, his best situation is still going to be in Tampa. He still has the weapons. Everybody coming back on the offensive line. Their defense, they still got some good pieces there, but they still need to build it back up. I just think Todd Bowles was the wrong move as a head coach. Yeah. I just think that this really showed that he's just not cut out to be a head coach. That was it. Exactly. He's just not cut out to be a head coach. I was surprised, though, that the offense was that bad. But again, the injuries had a huge part to play in it. Byron Leftwich may lose his job. Who knows? But I don't think that does happen.
There was already rumors about him. The rumors about him before the season. There's he was a head coach candidate for other teams.
And now
people were a little bit questioning him, and now I think people are really going to be questioning him.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think it's just the best situation for him to stay. That's what I ultimately think it comes down to. So, man, but that was, pretty much a short episode for us for the NFL. Again, everything dwindling down with the season and the playoffs.
Yeah.
What you got, I?
Rain, sleet, or snow, Eagles ready to go, baby. Yeah.
There you go, man. But again, short NFL episode for you guys. Quick, right to the point. Pretty much giving our playoff predictions, our second round previews, and what we believe for those. And Tom Brady retires or not. So, but again, thank you guys for all tuning in here to episode number 34. Tune into our Instagram, our TikTok. Reels have been going crazy, especially these last handful. So thank everybody for the support. And then check out the episode on YouTube. It's going to be going live for you guys about 2 or 3 p.m. Central Standard Time on January 18th. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.
What's your face?
Thank you guys for tuning in. And we will see y'all on episode number 35 for our NBA portion. Have a good rest of the week, y'all.